It's 2025, and you as a creative, this is your year. This is what you're going to do to be unbelievably successful and to set up the rest of your life as a creative so that you never have to not be a creative. My name is Isham. I'm a filmmaker and a photographer, and I've been working at this for over a decade now, and this is how I make a living. And I've done over 1 billion views working with brands and on my own content as a filmmaker and as a photographer. This is the advice I got from one of my mentors who's an Academy Award nominated, Emmy Award winning, Grammy Award winning artist. He said the 3 Ps, which is produce, promote, and persist. What you're going to do is that simple. You're going to focus on your art, and what you're going to do is you're going to produce it every day. I don't care if you have a 9 to 5, I don't care if you have a 9 to 9, you have to work on your art every single day. If you want to be an artist, you have to be an artist. You have to make your art. Writers have to write, filmmakers have to make films, photographers have to shoot, dancers have to dance, musicians have to make music. That's as simple as it is. You have to do your craft. I don't care if it's good or not. You have to start by making your art. So as you make your art, it can be little in bits, I get it. You as a painter, it might take a month to make a painting. As a film, it might take a month to make a film, a short film, right? It might take a year to make a feature film or longer. But you have to work on your craft every single day. Now, while you're doing that, you have to promote. Promote simply means to make things known. You can be posting on social media. You can be messaging people. But you need to make yourself known as an artist. And so it always starts with you making art first. Once you make enough art, you can then promote it. So it's not just making one song, one film, and being like, oh, good, I did it. It's like you gotta do it again. So you have to prove to people that you can make art, and you can make enough of it, and you can make enough of it at a high enough quality. It starts with quantity. You have to do enough. Then your quality will come, okay? So ways you can promote it, really simply, film yourself while you're making your art. Take photos of yourself while you're making your art, or show the progress of it. If you don't want to do that, totally understand. Make your art and then talk about it after you've made it, or share it once it's done. Now, realize you can share your art that you made last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and share it like, hey, look at the progress I made from 10 years ago to now, 5 years ago to now. Or hey, I made this 4 years ago. Can't believe I made this 4 years ago on this date. There are so many ways about it. So showing the progress of that, you can also then talk about the lessons you learned while doing it. Hey, I made this art. This is the lesson I learned while doing it. This is what I was wanting to practice while doing it. You see how there's so many different ways to talk about you being an artist. Now, if you don't want to talk on camera, I understand. Not all artists are actors and happy to be in front of camera. Some are much more camera shy. But why not just take a photo of your art or a video of the art that you're doing, and you can do a voiceover. You can do text about it. You can write about it. You have to put it out there. Now, there's 2 larger things in terms of promotion. You can promote to the broad public as a whole, as I'm talking about social media, but you should also need to be promoting it to the specific people that are either going to buy your art or going to help get you paid as an artist. So for example, as a filmmaker, right? Because that's who I am. You can be making social media content and building an audience, for the larger public, but you should also, why not reach out to producers, casting agents, actors, editors, people who work at large studios, Netflix, Amazon, Paramount. Well, what if they never respond? But they're not going to respond if you don't message them. So why not take the chance and message them? Literally the worst thing that happens is they don't respond or they say no. They say you're not ready. Okay. Well, another year later, message them again. 6 months later, message them again. I'm not saying message them every day, but hell, you could. You could and see what happens. Every art form has this larger audience and the direct audience. And the direct audience is either going to pay you or help you get paid. So you just have to figure out who that direct audience is. And you can message them on LinkedIn, you can find their emails. Pretty much everyone has social media, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, X, you name it, message them on it. Again, literally worst comes to worst, nothing happens. A mentor of mine taught me about the rule of 100, which is doing 100 reach outs a day, every single day for 100 days. And after that, like, your life would never be the same. And it truly is that simple. Like, I've got to work with some of the biggest brands purely by a cold DM. And when I've told friends and I've told other people about this, they're like, how is that even possible? But it really is that simple. Like, you really just reach out, and but it takes their sitting there. It takes the discipline of sitting there. And if you just but if that's where you go back to produce, you have to make your art over and over and over again, because then you have new things to promote. You're not just promoting things you made a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. You constantly have something new to talk about. So the final thing you have to do is persist. Is you keep doing it over and over. And if you did this every day, if you actually took 2025, really think about this, to make art every day, to promote it every day, whether it's directly in 100 messages a day for 365 days, or make content and release content for 365 days. Or if you're even crazier and you actually want to achieve your goals, you did both every single day, think about how successful you'd be by the end of the year. Do you think you couldn't make money? And the reason I get serious about this is because it takes hard work. Regardless of who you are, regardless of the circumstances, that's what it takes. You think about Kobe Bryant, hours in the gym. You think about every artist that we know, every athlete that we admire. It takes hard work to achieve success. All we see is the final result of their work. We don't actually see the journey that they went through. So know that that's what it's going to take to be successful. And if you really want it bad enough, you can achieve it. You got this. You just have to go do the work. But I'm going to tell you a secret. Okay? So don't tell anyone. You cannot tell anyone about this. The coolest thing is that you get to make art. That's what you get to do. That is your work, is making art. I mean, how freaking cool is that? Like, I get to make movies, and that's my work. That's my job. I get to go take photographs. That's work. It's unbelievable. And there's never a day that doesn't go by that I go, wow, what a blessing. But every day I have to wake up and be like, yeah, this is work, I have to go do it. So you have to treat it like a job. This is your 9 to 5. And if you start treating it like a 9 to 5, it'll become a 9 to 5 in the sense of you're gonna get paid for it every single day you do it instead of doing it for free to start with. But you have to be so good. And I'll end with this quote from Steve Martin, which is, he was asked, what advice do you have to aspiring actors and comedians? He's like, people would say, you gotta meet the right agent, you gotta network. He's like, no. He said, it's really simple. It comes down to be so great that they can't ignore you. And as an artist, that's all it is. You have to become so great. You have to make so much great art, and you have to drill it so intensely over and over until that you're so great they can't ignore you. And with that, I wish you the best 2025. You got this. If you need any help, let me know. more than happy to help you the best way I can. You got this. Love you.